Okay. So I'm here today with David Wesley, and David is, we're here at the Swiss Colony Baptist Cemetery, and I'm just going to give a little view of this around through here. This is one of the oldest communities here in our area. So, David, you come here which holidays to place flags on the graves?
Well, I'm a caretaker here, so I come over here all the time. But I put flags up on Memorial Day and on Veterans Day.
Okay. And why do you do that?
Just to honor the veterans. This country is. It wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for our veterans. They have protected our freedoms, and I just feel like we need to honor them.
So you served in the military. Which division?
I was in the Air Force.
Air Force. And what did you do?
I was a weather officer.
Okay. Where was your training?
I took my weather training in New York City, New York University, for a year, and then I went to Eglin Air Force Base. Spent the rest of the Vietnam War there.
Okay. So, do you remember your first day when you checked in the military?
Yeah, I do.
Describe it a little bit.
I went to Louisville, and it was late in the evening, and they put me on a plane, and we went through Dallas and then to San Antonio, and I got into the base there at San Antonio middle of the night. I don't know, it was probably closer to about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was of course underclassman then, and all the upperclassmen were really glad to see me. I think I was the first underclassman to come into the dorm there, and they all kind of gave me a little bit of razz because they were glad to see the underclassmen.
So, thinking back on your experience, can you share? I want to ask you two things. I want you to share your worst day in the military and your most memorable day in the military.
Probably both the same, I guess. I had a pilot that I was giving a weather briefing to, and he didn't like the way I was doing it, I guess. So he kind of complained. He complained to my commanding officer. I wasn't doing any different than I did anybody else, but he didn't seem to like it. So that was probably my worst day.
Yeah. What was your best day?
I don't know.
Do you have one particular good memory of the military?
I guess the people I was serving with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that often.
Good friends, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about our military today as far as encouraging young people to consider military as service? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, they haven't done too good a job lately coming out of Afghanistan. I don't know whether that's very encouraging or not. It seems like they've got their focus too much on all this wokeness stuff and not too much on protecting the country.
Yeah. Well, I can certainly say, my dad was in military, and I've had uncles in military, and I grew up really respecting the military, respecting our flag. And so when you look at our flag today, what does it mean to you?
I guess it means freedom. I've always, had a respect for the flag. My dad was in the Army Air Corps back in World War II. Flew the hump. Got the Distinguished Flying Cross for that. He's buried over there.
Yeah. And that would be Rex Wesley.
Rex, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I've always held it in high regard. I was Scout leader for about 30 years, and that, of course, Boy Scouts encourages patriotism, and so that's part of that too.
Yeah. a lot of people in military end up helping with Boy Scouts and Eagle Scouts, and were you in any of that division growing up?
No, I didn't. I wasn't in Scouts till I
Yeah.
got to be about 30.
Yeah.
Started
Well,
out
you
as
finally made it.
assistant Scoutmaster and then Scoutmaster
Yeah.
for a number of years, and took a lot of trips out west with the Scouts. And
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say to parents today about scouting for children?
It's a very good program. It teaches a lot of outdoor skills. It teaches a lot of leadership skills. It teaches a lot of patriotism. I think a lot of the reason that scouting has gone down is because of sports.
Yeah.
And I'm not against sports, but I don't think sports gives a completely rounded program like the Scouts will.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. And finally, I guess if you could say anything to our national leaders today about veterans and their service, what would you want to say that would not have to be censored?
Well, I think that's one of the top priorities that they have is to ensure our freedom, our security, safety, and I'm not sure that they're doing that. So I think they need to get on the ball.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks for serving first. Thanks for placing these flags on these graves in this cemetery, and just thanks for taking part in this activity that we're doing for IGOT communities.
Okay.